Hey, Sassy.
Hey, Buck, did you get my DM about Sam's mic?
Yeah, no worries. He can just leave it open if that's easier, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, so he's figured out how to join a space. So I told him to join this one around 6:02, just so the room can fill up a bit.
Yeah, perfect. Great idea. Sassy, thanks so much for coordinating all this. This is tremendous.
You know what? It was my pleasure. You know how passionate I am about this event. So it was my pleasure to do it.
And thanks for everyone for joining us already. We'll get started shortly in about 5 minutes.
And please tweet the room out.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, let's get the retweet out there. Good evening, Sam.
Nope, that's not Sam. That's the Twitter account. Sam's going to be coming in under his own name.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks.
Legally Purdy just had a good point to me. Make sure you follow everybody in this room.
Thanks for joining us, folks. For the new ones in the room, just feel free to give us a tweet and a like on this space. Let's see if we can get some more folks coming in here, and we'll get started in about 2 minutes. So if you can, give us a retweet.
Okay, we have Sam in the room.
Welcome, Sam. I threw you an invitation to come join us on stage there. If you're on desktop, I'm not sure exactly how that shows up, but should sort of just be a little accept button somewhere, and then you'll be able to come join us on stage. Don't worry about muting and unmuting your mic. You can just leave it open if that's easier, and back channel Sassy if you're having any trouble figuring out how to accept the mic. Awesome. Welcome, Sam.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing great. Thanks so much for taking the time to come and join us today. How's it been acclimating to Twitter and X, I should say.
You know what? It's a unique platform. It's definitely different than what I'm used to, but I'm getting the hang of her.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll just I'm just going to ask the room one more time just to throw some retweets out there. I know there's a lot more people who were looking to come to this space. We did change the time on them, so they might be off in other spaces right now, and we just need a minute to let that propagate through. But the more we can sort of interact with this post, maybe throwing things down in the purple pill, likes, retweets, and that'll bump it up in the algorithm to the top of people's news feed there. So I'm sure more people will come in. The space is recorded. So
Okay.
Sam, we'll be sensitive to your time here, and we're gonna kick it off here even as the room still fills up. But I'm sure you're gonna see we're gonna have a good crowd here as it continues, and then everybody will be able to listen to the recording. And all of this is here for posterity, Sam. So again, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate you joining us, and and welcome.
Thank you very much. I just one quick question. How do I see the room? I'm on your main page here and I see the messages. Oh,
Okay,
there we go.
yeah,
I just had to
scroll.
reduce the messages one. That's okay.
Okay,
All
perfect.
right.
Well, Sam, just by sort of way of background and introduction, maybe you could just, whatever you're comfortable sharing with us, just a little bit about yourself. I presume you're a Canadian. Maybe you could tell us what part of the country you hail from.
Fortunately enough, I've had the pleasure of living coast to coast. I was born and raised in Southern Ontario. That took me through, the high school, college years. As with most, I left Southern Ontario to seek the Western dream and found myself in the sea to sky corridor. Resided there for 17 years, met my partner, and she had a horse ranch. And I've been a licensed technician and a commercial operator for many years. We raised, we had two wonderful children, and we with the evolution of life, we decided to put our money in the East Coast, and we reside on her family farm here in the Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia.
Oh, lovely, lovely region.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't have the background of some political apparatchik, do you? What? Let me ask you, how did you get involved in organizing? And maybe you have a story about the convoy, or what's led you to get active and involved?
Well, since the pandemic, I definitely amped up the paying attention aspect of my life and calculating the issues that are amongst us. I, being a mechanic, and I my whole goal in life is to analyze problems and help people out 24/7 and try and get them on their way with a cost effective answer and something that's safe and reasonable for their family. And I realize that whether it's industry or family or community, you have to invest in your equipment, take good care of it, and a lot of times you can get a lot farther with a little love and respect out of an old piece of equipment than just trading it in on new all the time. So I was we were back and forth across the country. We tried to continue the operation of the horseback business in the Sea to Sky after the pandemic, and we were living in the East Coast and operating in the West Coast May to October. When the pandemic hit, I was working for the Department of Transport as a snow and ice removal operator for our community, and I was, I definitely was not interested in getting the vaccine, but I did because I was, pressured in by my employment and the stresses of the families, explaining to my
Watching
daughter that
people make
regardless of my vaccination status, I wasn't allowed into the arena to watch her play. And, I got really sick off my first shot, and I was welcomed back to work until the moment I couldn't tell them I was taking a second. And then I was removed from my position providing for the community. I've always been a mechanic. I kind of just wanted to when we moved to the Maritimes to work for the Department of Transport was an honorable position, and it was something you could forecast a retirement with, and you're doing good. I've fortunate enough, I've always been busy at night, wrenching on friends and family's equipment. I'm a licensed technician and a provincial inspector. So those traits, regardless of the economy, you're always welcome in the environment. So I was watching it all go down and was not putting it together, and I was quite upset. And then Ottawa happened. We were reached out by some local trucking companies, and they knew my stance on many things because I'd been recently unemployed. And we went and we prepared ourselves to go to the nation's capital. And then we met the rest of the Canada that was paying attention, and the ones that were genuinely interested in helping right the wrongs that were amongst us. I, fortunately enough, made it down right to Wellington Street first couple days. I arrived with my pickup truck and a service trailer that we had rigged out with all the necessities of a capable shop. And there we stayed, and I met plenty of people that would grace their presence as they walked by, and they signed the trailer. And I had heat, and I had washroom facilities, and I had generators. So once people realized that they could come and warm up and charge their devices, it became became quite the hub of knowledge and pride for the country, because everybody had something to say, and they were all from different walks of life, and it was easy to have a non-invasive conversation. So we had everything from local Ottawa people, immigrants, all across Canada. The biggest impact for me is I was still experiencing difficulties from the vaccination, and I was reached out by to a retired member of Parliament, ring bearing member, and he took the time with his wife to explain a lot to me, and helped me out with a better health plan to try and rectify the situation, and it did, and it really helped. And that was when I realized the harm of the vaccine amongst most people, and that there was suitable therapies for it that were being silenced by the machine. And then it just carried on with that. We were, for the first couple of weeks, we were very, we were proud to be, and I was joined by many other technicians that joined the protest, and we became sort of a central hub for the heavy trucks and the people in the vehicles. Once the fuel started becoming contaminated, we got quite proficient at evacuating fuel tanks and charging batteries and getting people back on the road, so that if and when they wanted to leave, they could do so, hopefully in better form than when they arrived.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. So you've really come
yeah,
about this quite organically then, just sort of happenstance, and, having some resources and being able to sort of provide and support the effort, and finding yourself at a bit of a nexus then, eh, Sam?
absolutely. And it really brought to light a bunch of the things that just weren't sitting right with me over the past years. I was involved in farming in Pemberton, and we did elite seed potato. And I watched the price of fertilizer increase so high that the farmer I was working for was forced to essentially abolish that whole industry. So that farm, after many generations, is no longer producing elite seed potato of multiple varieties that are shipped across North America to provide a real staple of our food supply. Um, so that hit me really hard, just watching the industries change, force of hand, whether we wanted to or not. The options just weren't there. The budget wasn't there to provide for something as simple as the fertilizer that was necessary to provide a healthy, sustainable crop.
Well, so Sam,
Um,
that sort of leads me to the core of it, and I appreciate you sharing with us your background, because it's always nice to have that background of relatedness as we listen to a speaker. And so thanks for helping us understand you and how you've come to this. But let me ask you about these protests. Maybe I could first ask. I think I saw early on in maybe a post, and forgive me, I'm not on Facebook. We'll talk about that a bit later about some of the
Don't blame
choices
you.
of platform. Okay.
Yeah.
But is this related in a way? Is it sort of well supported by farmers? Is it a farmers protest? How would you characterize this, and what are the goals?
So right now, as of to date, well, that's the last 8 months. I've taken over the local gas station, convenience store, repair facility here in our little town, and we are right in the heart of the apple country. I'm a a very important aspect of the local farms, and I see the stressors every day on their industry, let alone the people that live in our communities. So as far as do every single person that I have talked to, with the exception, and I got the first roll of the eyes yesterday, and it was actually from a young lady in her teens, and she wasn't really part of the conversation, but she was there with her parent, and the mother was expressing her gratitude of something has to be done, and thank you very much for standing up for us and providing a something for people that have no idea what to do. And this is so regardless, all the customers I've had and the people I've been able to engage conversation with, and they know my stance since my involvement in Ottawa, that uh, I'm willing to engage in these conversations because I genuinely sense the importance of having it. Uh, but the farming industry here is very important to the valley, and it's under threat. We've recently joined a group of people that are the Free to Farm network, and it's relying on one another to bring back the barter. And so, they know I'm the mechanic. So if you have to harvest and you have a flat tire, I'm the guy that I want you to call, because I understand that it's time sensitive. If
So
the
Sam,
pump's going down, and
is
sorry.
is the protest? I guess I'm just want to recircle back to the question here. Is the protest which is well supported by farmers? Does it characterize it as a farmers protest? Are there other organizers? Just from your region, or are they from across the country? Maybe you could give us a sense of, who else is involved in this, and then maybe segue into what's the objective and some of the details of the protest.
Absolutely. So the support is Canada wide. This is grassroots. This is in everybody's kitchen. The farmers know it. The transportation industry knows it. The fishermen know it. Everybody is feeling the pinch. I have been supported across the board, all industries. It is definitely Canada wide. I have friends and family abroad that are paying attention. We are very disappointed in the censorship and the moderating, or the harm that we're having getting our word out, and we do know it is because of Facebook and such. Unfortunately, it is the biggest platform right now that we can utilize. Not many of us are tech savvy. How I joined on with this, I was in a conversation with a local trucking company, and they expressed their concern of the upcoming tax, and it'll be $100,000 more next year to do the exact same thing. So we were discussing options, like, how do we voice our disapproval and our concerns. Like I said, we had I rented the local hall, and we had a meeting, and we were fortunate enough that some of our local members of parliament, or our MP, and some local congressmen were in there, and or sorry, members of municipal government. And what we got from that, after expressing all our concerns in the farming aspect of it, is that regardless of the 16,000 constituents they represent, their voice really isn't being heard. So that hit me pretty hard, and I brought that back to the other conversation. I'm like, look, we have to get together. And while we were talking about this, another group, they were also involved in getting something done about it. I watched a video of a couple of them getting together and talking about it, and I loved the idea. I loved the concept. It was an easy conversation to have with everybody, including law enforcement. We're all being harmed. So I approached them and I said, look, I'd like to represent us on the stage, because I am passionate about it. I don't mind speaking to the masses, and I want to make sure that the message gets abroad evenly. We don't want to give anybody any room to harm us and mix our words. This is to be on April 1st. We are going to stand united peacefully, and we are there to have the carbon tax eliminated from our people, and not to be brought back by some other form of taxation, because the harm that it has done and the lack of evidence for what it's been doing for us is so evident and so harmful to the people that I deal with every single day. This is something that has to be fixed. We're not exactly sure the recipe of how to do it, but my experience in Ottawa, standing up with good, solid people and emphasizing the peaceful aspect of it, they were really beside themselves there, and I hope that we can get it across um, exactly in the same form, that when they're looking at us, and when the word's getting out, people will be excited to get on board with this, because the harm is real, and it is a valid way to fix the problem. As easy as they can turn it on, they can turn it off. All of the industries that have been lacking lately can use the employees that may be displaced by the removal of the policy or the tax. And there's as far as the date, I'm just I really want to be a participant in something genuine that makes a difference. So we got together and we decided that with the interprovincial borders and the buildings of importance, that all of us that have been paying attention and protesting other issues, we're familiar with the areas. We just had the reunion for the convoy at the Fort Lawrence, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick border. It is a good, safe spot to be. We can make our presence, and people can get together and express their concerns.
Okay, so just to
So
summarize a few things you
yep.
said there. So the protest is about abolishing the carbon tax. It's a national day of protest. People are encouraged to meet up. Sassy, I wonder if I could task you with maybe finding Andromeda's tweets there that have all of the meetup locations, and if we could get that into the Purple Pill as well as the Nest, then our listeners here can sort of be following along to find out where they can join up to be a part of this. Sam, one of the things that I note, as well as I noticed there was a post on Facebook that we reposted over here on X that was done by the organizers, encouraging people who are coming to participate to engage and not engage in certain behaviors. So, Sam, I wonder if you could maybe touch on some of that. What are the organizers hoping to accomplish? I think there's actually some good wisdom in some of the directives, and so I just want to give you an opportunity to sort of hit home some of those messages as well.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, if I got the time, I mean, I have the mission statement and our code of conduct right here,
Perfect.
and I would like for everybody to hear it from me, so there's minimal interpretation. And our main goal, like I said, the immediate removal of the carbon tax without replacement with any other form of taxation. Our mission is to organize interprovincial border strikes across Canada, starting at April 1st at 8 a.m. Atlantic time. We're going to maintain at least one center lane open of traffic. We're going to continue the peaceful event until goals are achieved, regardless of the duration. We're going to demand action from our government leaders to permanently end the carbon tax. This is a peaceful event aimed at uniting Canadians for one common cause. Our code of conduct, and this is what everybody should be proud of, because we are good people, and these are important things to remember for everything. But act peacefully and respectfully. As we continue to stand together in our cause, it is crucial to remember that each of us represent something much bigger than ourselves. Our actions, words, and behaviors during protests are not just personal expressions, they are reflections of an entire group and the values we stand for. Our strength lies in our peaceful approach. Let's ensure our protests are conducted respectfully, without resorting to violence or vandalism. The power of our movement is measured by our dignity and our composure. Unity and diversity. We are a group with diverse backgrounds, but united for a common cause. Respect each other's views and spaces, and avoid any actions that could be divisive or detrimental to our solidarity. Be responsible and representative. Remember, when you're out there, you're not just an individual. You are a representative of our entire community. How you act can either strengthen or undermine our collective efforts. Make us proud. Stay informed. Misinformation can lead to confusion and ineffective protests. Please stay up to date with verified information from our local channels, and ensure that you're spreading accurate details. Safety first. Look after yourself and others. Bring water, appropriate clothing, and follow safety guidelines. If you see someone in trouble, help them or find someone who can. The environmental responsibility. Our protest against the carbon tax does not mean we disregard the environment. Please minimize waste, recycle, and keep our protest sites cleaner than when we arrived. Spread the positivity. Our aim is to inspire change, not incite fear or anger. Carry messages of hope, constructive change, and unity. Let's be an example of a positive, impactful activism. Do not confront, document. If you encounter opposition or witness inappropriate behavior, document it safely and report it to the authorities or our designated safety officers. Do not engage in confrontations. Remember the goal. We are here to voice our opposition to the carbon tax in a way that is respectful, impactful, and constructive. Let's stay focused on our objectives and work together to make a difference. By standing together in respect, peace, and unity, we can make our voices heard, more powerful than ever. Let's lead by example and make this protest a testament to our commitment, responsibility, and hope for change. Thank you for your continuous support and dedication. Let's make our collective voices heard, but let's do it the right way. Together we are stronger. Together we can make a difference.
Wow, Sam, I think that's really powerful, and I'm glad that the organizers have taken the time to state the mission and the code of conduct. I think that's essential, and so I applaud you for that.
Thank you. And it is very difficult to have keep the conversation specific, and that's what this day is about. This protest is specifically for abolishing the carbon tax. That is a pay raise for every single Canadian, regardless of your stature, your industry. Everybody needs this help right now. If we wait for it to go through the legal realms, with many of my customers, they can't afford the fuel in the tank or the daycare right now. This whole subsidy thing, it's nonsense. It's non-factual. It doesn't actually apply to reality, and I'm seeing it firsthand. I know the Maritimes, we're not, the population density isn't here and the money's not here, so the poverty hits a little harder in these rural communities. So many of the people in the cities don't recognize the harm that is already amongst so many, because they are caught up in the city life, and it is a hustle bustle, and there's many things to distract you, whether it's going to the movies or eating out or whatever it may be. But it's really, really hitting hard here in the rural communities. And I think with this message and with how we're going to deliver it, it's going to make a difference.
Wonderful. Well, I'm just monitoring some of the questions, and folks, I know you've got hands up. We're gonna make sure that there's a little bit of time at the end to get some questions in. But if you want to throw them a purple pill, I'll ask Sam. Sam, one of the questions is for people who want to participate, but maybe aren't, maybe they're in a city, don't drive, aren't close to one of the border crossings. How can they participate?
Absolutely. And they know a building of importance. They know somewhere where they can stand safely and with their signs, or just be, municipal buildings, parliamentary buildings, their local intersection. As long as it's somewhere where people can be together safely, that is good enough. And we're just individuals. We are acting on our own. So, another question I had this afternoon is, why are we waiting till April 1st, and why, and this and that, and what my April 1st is just when I can do it. Anybody can do this at any single time, and it is something that should be done as long as you're following, a proper code of conduct that represents Canadians well. I encourage that. But yeah, there are plenty of facilities that have already been actively protested, and on April 1st there aren't going to be those people in the buildings, but there's plenty of room for making a positive exposure.
So what you're saying, Sam, is for folks to get visible, but to live within the spirit of this movement. And is there a place that code of conduct and mission statement is that available here on X? Can we get that
Absolutely.
up in
uh,
the Sassy? I wonder if you could take a look, Sam. Maybe you could tell Sassy where she could find that.
If not, I can reach out and have it posted, and shared with you. Our website at nationwide protest against the carbon tax.ca. Everything is listed there.
I actually have the link for the website. I will post it. Give me a second to go get it.
Awesome, Sassy, you're the best. Okay. Well, so I know that there is an account. Hopefully, Sassy, we can also get that account so people can stay informed. It sounds like this might be something we want to stay engaged on for a while. But folks here on X maybe are unaware. What's it looking like over on Facebook? What's the anticipated turnout look like? How many people do you have in the Facebook group?
We're over 120,000 people I believe this is day 14. So
Wow. Wow.
I am absolutely flabbergasted with the participation in this. I mean, there isn't many pages that have grown like that. You we're hoping the momentum will keep rolling as long as we can maintain traction in the conversation. Nobody wants to spin their wheels, and we want to make sure that we get the whole field plowed. And if with the people that have been reaching out with their stories and their reasons for participating, it really energizes the masses to identify the harm, and that this is a solid fix. I know the hierarchy are listening to us, and that's what my goal was to put some volume to the voice of the people, and let them know that there are others out there that are willing to engage in civil conversation to get the harm eliminated from the people. And right now, the April 1st carbon tax hike and the raises that they're cited to get, it's unacceptable. It's going to do nothing but harm. So if we can get it across and let them know that we're not going to stand for it, this is unacceptable. We are the Canadian citizens, we are the taxpayers, and they have been misrepresenting us and our tax dollars so poorly. Something must be done now, and they can do it. It is within their power. So there doesn't have to be any lengthy, weighed out nonsense like they can do. They've made policies and mandates in the wee hours and put them through. I have plenty of evidence of it. So I'm hoping that they'll make that exception for us as well.
I mean, it's just tremendous to hear that, a Facebook group in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, over 100,000 people have signed up to that. We would certainly encourage you to be active here on X. I don't think we have quite as big as a community, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But you may not know, or maybe Sassy has told you that um, folks over here have been kind of organizing a little bit in parallel, and trying to understand what's going on. And thank you for coming here and helping us understand. But one of the things we've noticed over here as we were, hearing rumblings of the protests is we started to notice the Conservative Party. Sort of speaking to this issue, sort of campaigning, almost I kind of want to say trying to co-opt this movement. Have you noticed that as well? And how do the organizers feel about the Conservative Party sort of tacking onto this protest?
Yeah, it's definitely been noticeable. But my personal opinion, this should not be a political talking point. They should not be marketing with this for their votes. This is an issue that has been harming us long before talks of an election. They Either side of it has been profiting from this. As with most of the issues, you'll always find the opposition will speak out, and I am thankful for the acknowledgement of it, and them attempting, with the last couple days involvement in Parliament. It has really exposed the people that are willing to continue to harm us. I do believe it has brought some eyes there, or some ears to the conversation, that they those numbers are real. When those elected officials decided that they would vote to keep this all going, it really has to make you wonder what is motivating them, and how they can choose to ignore the evidence and the harm that is happening to their neighbors and their family members. Like I said, this is in every single kitchen, living room. When they go to work, everybody is feeling the pinch. And like I said, our armed forces right now, I'm right here at CFB Greenwood, and I never would have expected that our active members would be in financial turmoil. And listening to what's happening in Oromocto right now, out of 400 users of the food bank, 40 some odd of them are active members trying to care for their family. These are the people that have given their lives to defend us, and we can't even provide them with a sturdy income. And so, if they're not going to change that, at least we can do is make the products, the goods and service, the transportation aspect of it a lot cheaper right away. And that's it has to happen, because it's tearing our country apart, and we don't need any more division. So I hope I answered that question properly.
Yeah, no, that's great, Sam. I got
It's
another.
heartbreaking.
I got
It's
another
honestly heartbreaking.
I got another tricky question for you. It sounds like these protests will continue until freedom improves. Has there been any discussion around learning lessons around fundraising? And is there formal fundraising? Is it informal? Anything to share on that regard?
Absolutely. We've made it very clear that this is about keeping the money in the pockets of the Canadian people. We're not looking for money. If people do want to donate and contribute, we're asking to go out and have coffee and discuss this. They start to nibble at this pill with people, and realize that that is the fastest way to resolve it, is by talking about it, and being present in the conversation. Get your signs, put them in your windows. We are trying to reach out to some industries and some bigger companies that we don't mind asking for donations of porta potties, and we've had some local grocery stores reach out, and they want to make sure that we have food to take with us. And we haven't asked, we don't, we're definitely not interested in taking money from the Canadian people. That's not in the conversation.
So, Sam, you'd
But
suggest, people sort of giving locally and in person rather than, give, send, go campaigns and all of that. It's, give somebody a meal, a tank of gas, some direct aid. Is that the message from the
absolutely.
organizers?
Absolutely. If you're talking to somebody and they seem like they want to get on board and they have the ability to travel, feel free to put 20 bucks in their pocket for gas, or buy them a cup of coffee, or you know, uh, really the most impactful thing is getting involved in this. Get off the couch. Where you may find yourself dedicating your hours to doing something else, let's just hold off on that for a couple weeks, or a day or so, and get out there and let people know that, hey, there is really good people standing up on our behalf right now, and the least we can do is talk about it and support them, because y- every single person that I've engaged about this is absolutely genuine. There are people that have been genuinely hurt since the convoy, and from them speaking out, and the fear mongering is real. um it's a very hard thing to come back from when you've literally seen your own tax dollars abuse you, and you've watched people be physically harmed, but for no good reason, no legal reason. So, if you can pocket that rage away and literally sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk it out and be with one another, that is priceless to me.
But you're putting the primacy on folks getting involved, right? And one of the great benefits of that and meeting up in real life is building the network. I'll use this moment to plug what we usually do on these spaces. So, Sam, if you're ever in here, we always ask people to follow the fellow listeners. Obviously, folks, follow Sam. I don't know if we've got the official account in the room, but maybe we can get that sassy up in the bubble as well, so that people can stay connected for the updates. The network is powerful, and being visible is an important part of this. And so, Sam, I really appreciate that you're emphasizing the onus on us everyday Canadians to participate in whatever way we can. We're gonna go to if it's all right, Sam. We've got some folks that have some questions. So in about 5 minutes, we'll open the room up a bit. We'll bring some folks on stage and do a bit of Q&A if that's okay. But I just want to sort of give you another 5 minutes here to just any parting thoughts, any things that you want to re-emphasize and really drive home. Just some parting thoughts before we get into the back and forth of the Q&A.
Well, I really appreciate for people getting engaged in this. It is very important to me, because I am dedicating some priceless hours to it, and I see the importance of the mission. Um, the the thing I have to emphasize the most is, don't let them get to you. There are grifters out there. There are trolls out there. There are people that are genuinely being paid a lot of money to harm us and get in the way and be a hindrance. So I just want to hammer it out. Please be a help. If you can show up, if you can engage in civil conversation, do it on behalf of your country and the future that you want to leave for your children and their grandchildren. And it is that's the key, that and we have to bring that back to the table, to be able to communicate openly with our friends and families and neighbors, regardless of industry, race, ethnicity. It doesn't religion, it doesn't matter. We are worth it, and there's a lot of awesome people out there. And the benefit that I took from Ottawa in my involvement with that is, when you meet somebody that was there and did engage, that there's a feeling inside that you're really lucky to have that in your soul. So if everybody can get that from this, it's going to do a lot of people a lot of good with, above and beyond the reduction or the removal of the tax.
Okay, so we do have the official account in the room. For those who are just listening or can't see the attendees, the official account is at N as in Nancy W P carbon tax, right? Do I have that right, Sam? That's
Yeah, I just put it up in the bubble and down in the pill a screenshot of the
Awesome.
account.
You're the
Thank you
best.
for that.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna use hands for questions. So we've got Andromeda with her hand up, and then we've got some other folks on the stage. So we'll get to everybody here as long as we've got time with Sam. So come and join us on the stage, and go ahead there, Andromeda.
Hello, Sam. How are you? My name is Angela. I'm a representative of a very wonderful group of women. We have angels in all provinces across Canada. So if there's anything that you may need for us to spread or help with, just let Sassy know. She is also a very wonderful and important representative of the angels.
Lovely.
And thank you for all that you're doing.
I appreciate that very, very much. And if we do, we will. And if you can, and I'm sure you will, look forward to having you join us on this mission.
Well, so Sam, a number of the angels are hosting a live stream on April 1st. And we've also got some folks in our X's community here who will be traveling to various locations across the country, doing interviews and and piping that back into the community here on X. And so maybe just if I'm putting the seed out there now. If you've got local organizers, who want to come and we can either sort of pipe them in, or if they can make an X account, they can come and join our space. We'll send you all those contact details. But I just want to acknowledge the angels who are participating in that. I think we've got Sassy and Andromeda and Heather and anyways.
Almost every lady that you see in the space is an angel.
Marvelous.
We'll be
Yeah,
We'll be hosting
I'll
and
have my boots.
covering every day that you'll be out and about. So
And I
we'll
hope
send
it's
you
not for a
links.
long time. I hope we can get the message across in fine form and let them know that we've had enough and that we, the people, have a valid voice in the conversation. And we are indebted to one another, because this is the power that they were underestimating.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next questions. Maybe folks are on the desktop and they can't put the hand up.
Sass wanted to say something, Buck.
I'm sorry, Sassy. Didn't mean to cut.
No, it was Andromeda. What did you say, Andromeda? You broke up.
Well, I broke up for you, love. I just said that we would be hosting the event all day and for as long as it runs.
Okay. We'll go to Hoeg. Are you with us, Hoeg? Okay, maybe we'll go over to Adam and we'll come back to Hoeg. Adam, you there?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I just wanted to reiterate to the Canadians that this event is until the carbon tax is abolished. We're not leaving until we get a win.
And we're coming off a win, as many folks are aware, out in Newfoundland, a win for the fishermen. And hopefully we can continue to add to that momentum. Anything else there, Adam?
No, I just wanted to let everyone know that this is more than a one-day event.
Okay, we'll try Hoeg again. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for joining us. Hoeg, are you there?
He may be broken.
Okay, Hoeg, if you can hear us, just drop back down. I'll bring you back up again. Thanks for being patient. I'm sorry that you're broken there, but I'd love to hear from you. We'll go over to Bob.
Hey, thanks, Buck. Hey, gang. Sassy, just an administrative note. Your link is broken there that you posted in the nest. I think if you can edit your tweet still and just remove protest before HTTPS, the link will come up for us.
Okay, thank you. Noted. I'll go and do
Yeah,
that
and
now.
I sent you a DM on it. I think I got the proper link. I just scrubbed the protest before the HTTPS, and then the link worked for us.
Okay, perfect. I'll remove the one that's up there now and I'll repost it.
Awesome, Bob. Appreciate that. Okay, you know what we'll do is this is recorded, so bookmark this, and we will put the link for the live stream on April 1st. We'll organize it. We'll attach it to this, and we'll obviously tweet it out. But we'll get that set up shortly so that we can keep everybody connected here and informed. Okay, it looks like we've got Hoeg back. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, man. You guys called on me right when I was in the middle of eating a plate of pierogies. So, yeah. Anyway, Sam, glad to hear that there's another locked-in Nova Scotian. Welcome to the crew. Well, I guess you were on it before I was. I have a question about the location. You're saying it was what? Fort Jefferson? No. Fort Lawrence, yeah.
Yep.
Were you ever thinking about doing it in OLAC? Just like a kilometer across the border, because that's the interchange to the road that goes to Confederation Bridge.
There is a group that will be on the outward side of the Confederation Bridge, I believe. But we're gonna be right at the welcome at the flags and make it right there.
So basically, right at the that little Cumberland Loop thing.
That's right.
Sweet.
I'm not sure if it's the Cumberland Loop. I've never heard that before. But where the oh shoot, what is the street name? It's on the number 2 Allac Fort C. Yeah, it's right there at the Nova Scotia welcome sign. That overpass area where the scale
Yeah.
house is. Yeah.
And then right on the other side of the scale houses is like the Nova Scotia Information Center, and that's Cumberland Loop. So like
Okay. Yeah.
that road goes right past the welcome sign if you're thinking about having people off the highway.
Yep. Yeah. No, I appreciate you being involved and helping us out with this. And unfortunately, I have another show that I'm speaking on at 8:00 my time here, guys. But could probably sneak one more quick one in.
Well, no, Sam, we'll let you move on. We really appreciate you coming here. Please don't forget us about us here on X. We're getting organized. We're here to support you. Oh, we got one more question before you go. Miranda, go ahead right away.
I don't see Miranda as
Oh,
speaker.
I'm here.
There
Yeah,
she is.
sorry. I'm new to the space thing. This is the first time for me. So I just wanted to back up Sam and just let everyone know that all locations across Canada are posted on all of our social media platforms that we're on now.
Okay, one last time. Let's get all of those places we can connect with you. Sam, tell us about the website, the Facebook group, and the X account.
So that's it. We have the nationwide protest against the carbon tax.ca. That is our website. Our Facebook page is at Nationwide Protest Against the Carbon Tax. And our X is at
NWP Carbon Tax.
That's it. NWP Carbon Tax.
Awesome.
Hey, Sam.
Yes.
Just because you were saying you're an Annapolis Valley DOT worker, did you happen to know Ricky Pierce?
I do know Ricky Pierce. Ricky's pretty awesome. Him and I share the love of motorsports.
Yeah, his passing was it really got to me, man.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know he passed.
Like Ricky Pierce from the Annapolis shed, yeah.
Yeah, he's not old and a beautiful little boy.
He died of vaccine heart attack.
Unbelievable.
Well, listen, Sam, we know you got to get ready and take a quick break there and maybe a bio before your next interview. Really appreciate you spending the time with us. Don't be a stranger. Come back anytime. If you want to host a space, just DM me or Sassy. Let us know how we can support.
Thank you very, very much, everybody, for chiming in and having me on board. And I will definitely be back. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
sorry for being.
Thank you so much, Sam. And just so everybody knows, Nation is down in the space. It'll be very easy. Just scroll down and give them a follow.
Lovely. Thanks, guys.
Take care. We'll leave the space open for 30 seconds. So if you want to grab any links, follow the fellow listeners, we can do that. And then this is recorded. So feel free to review it, share it around, and let other people know. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Really appreciate it. Have a great night.